Good morning, class, the receiving school students and teachers.
Good morning, Mrs. Watanas.
How are you all this morning?
We are very well, thank you. And how are you this morning?
I'm very well, just like you all. Thank you. You may sit down. Okay, let's look back to our lesson. We had 2 previous lessons on action plan, and I'd like someone to tell me why making action plans are important. Why making action plans are important, or why are action plans important? Yes, Messi?
Action plans guide us on the right path. That's why it's important.
Very good, thank you. Good, we looked at also factors to consider in making action plans. If I can have Alois here to give us one of them, one of the factors.
What will the project look like?
Very good, thank you. Francis? There are many, but I'll only have 3, so we have Francis next.
Where will resources come from?
Very good, thank you. Yes, Shane. We left Shane the last, but there's more than 3 factors to consider when planning.
What size will it be?
Very good, thank you. Now, you were given homework, and homework was for you to find out what sketch mapping is, and also what scale drawing is. Anybody who would like to share with us what you have? Jennifer? Okay, we'll have Jennifer.
Sketch mapping is roughly drawn map with few details.
Good, thank you. Okay, that is sketch mapping. Anybody with scale drawing? Scale drawing. Yes, Tulanga? I thought I saw your hands up.
A line which has marks on it used for measuring and drawing or painting of an area.
Good, thank you. Anybody else who would like? Okay, we have Paul S. Paul S.
Line of marks using a pencil.
Right, good, thank you. Now, we will be looking more or further on what sketch mapping and scale drawing are. So which means our topic is on sketch mapping and scale drawing. It's not out. Okay, now our topic activity is to define. Okay, define. Can somebody tell me what define is? What's another simple word we use instead of a define? Okay, Carol.
Find the meaning.
Good, meanings. Define is actually finding the meaning. So, we have 2 activities, and one is to find a meaning for sketch mapping and scale drawing. And 2 is to do an exercise on scale mapping, scale drawing. Now, we have somebody there asking for help. What is the first help that is needed by whatever we have there, that picture we have there, Hayano?
What is sketch mapping?
What is sketch mapping? Now, who would like to help our little friend there? What is sketch mapping? Anybody else who would like to try? We already had some brainstorming there from Jennifer, Tulanga, and Paul S. We have Messy's hands up again, so we'll have Messy.
Rough estimation.
Right, good, thank you. Now, we also have another, somebody in help of asking to know Violet. What is it?
What is scale drawing?
What is scale drawing? I think that should be the question we also should be asking too. Now, who would like to help with that? Anybody? What is scale drawing? Okay, we cannot, so we will have a look at it together on what sketch mapping is. What is sketch mapping? I'd like Rachel to read it for us. And while Rachel is reading, I'd like the class and the receiving school students to as well to get it copied into your books.
A rough map-like drawing of something done quickly
Without consent for
consent for
detail.
detail.
Okay, good. If you can get it copied quickly, that is your definition for sketch mapping. Okay, that's what's missing, so if you can get that done also. Without consent for detail is missing, so you have that. A rough map-like drawing of something done quickly. We don't take time to do a sketch. We do it quickly and it's done without consent, meaning you don't worry about how it will look like, as long as whatever you want is done on the paper. Now we are going to have a look at what scale drawing is, and those who have helped to share with what you found out on sketch mapping and scale drawing, if your answers are similar to that, then you have done a good job. We'll have a look at what scale drawing is, and I'll have Carrot, if you can read it for us. What is scale drawing? Your definition for scale drawing? Carrot, read.
Drawing that has been reduced or enlarged to a common scale. For example, on a scale of 1 centimeter.
Okay, thank you. You stop there, now we'll finish. Now it says, for example, on a scale of 1 centimeter to 50, okay, 1 centimeter to 50 centimeter, or it is 1 cm equals to 50 cm, okay? 1 cm equals to 50 cm. So if you have on your scale 1 centimeter, that 1 centimeter is equals to 50 centimeter on a scale drawing. Now, to the receiving school teachers, I'd like you to explain further on using scales, especially on the scale that we will be using, which is 1 centimeter to 50 centimeter. And you can help your students in how they can help to get those the scale done, so they can be able to do that assignment or assessment task that has been given. Now, further explanation on the scale that we will be using will be clarified to the class. and the receiving schools can do the same to your own students. Now our lesson activity, I'd like Rick, if you can read it for us. Lesson activity.
In groups, discuss and draw a sketch map of the waterlogging area.
Okay, you're going to work together in a group, and you will discuss and draw a sketch map of the waterlogged area. Now, do not forget that sketch mapping is just a rough map-like drawing, okay, a rough map-like drawing of something. And actually, the something that we are talking about in our lesson is the, Rachel, what is it? In a definition, it says something. Now, what is the something that we are talking about now in our lesson?
The waterlogged.
Very good, the waterlogged area. So you're all going to work together as a group. I will give you 5 minutes to get this one done. Just pass them out, please, help. Give one to every group, please. Okay, instead of our runners coming up, we have Teresa and Hercules to give out the papers and markers. Now you are given only 5 minutes to do that sketch mapping of the area identified, which is the waterlogged area. They didn't get any paper. Okay, where's your paper? Don't forget that you're going to just all think about the area we have, okay? And that area has been there, so you all should know that area very well. So your imagination should take you back to that area. Think about that area quickly, and then you sketch the area that we have. And then what you think you can have it done to improve that area. Okay, good, one is already finishing. We have one group already finished. You should have a paper there. Don't forget this is sketch mapping. So it has to be, Paul, it has to be rough, okay? But Edward is trying to do it neatly. Okay, this is sketch mapping, so it has to be rough and done quickly. We have group 1 already finished. We are doing a sketch mapping. A sketch mapping is, it has to be done, roughly and quickly. But here we are taking our time. Use the marker so you don't go over it again with marker and waste time. Thank you. We will have group 1. I've given you all 5 minutes, and our 5 minutes is up. This is sketch mapping, so I'll have group 1. Group 1 to present for us what they have. Thank you, Shane. Sorry, maybe it's silly. Come.
For group 1, this is what me and my group put together. It's just a rough sketch mapping of the waterlogged area at the back of our classroom. Thank you.
Can you tell us briefly what?
I'll explain further. This is just our waterlogged area. This is the 2 classrooms and our fence. Thank you.
And what does that one? The green or the blue one?
The blue one.
Yeah, what's that?
That's just where the waterlogged area fixed.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Okay, thanks very much. Group 1, thank you. I'd like every one of us to give Group 1 3 claps. Okay, now our next activity is the assessment task. On scale drawing. You have just done an activity on sketch mapping, and the next one is going to be on scale drawing. However, this is going to be accessible. You will be assessed on whatever you will be doing for scale drawing. Now, I am going to go through it quickly. I can have you to read, however, I'll have to go through it, and as I go through, I'll explain what has to be done. And while I'm doing that, the receiving school teachers, if you can have a student from your group, from every group in your class to get those, the accessible task written. Now for the class, I've helped you and got it done, but I'd like you to concentrate as I go through the explanation. Now your assessment task is to do a scale drawing of the waterlogged area. And it says ratio, okay? Ratio is 1:50, okay? Ratio is 1:50, which is 1 centimeter equals to 50 centimeter, okay? Ratio 1:50, 1 centimeter equals to 50 centimeter or equals 50 centimeter. Now that is going to be your assignment. The next we will be looking at the criteria, how your assignment is going to be marked. And once again, receiving school teachers, please make sure the criteria is written probably by you and also the students. Now if I can have, let's say, Tassie to read the first one, first criteria.
Title of the scale drawing.
Okay, title of the scale drawing. Your scale drawing must have a title, and that was 1 mark. Okay, let's have a query. 2. The second criteria.
Correct length and width of the area.
Good, correct length and width of the area. Now, the length and the width of the area, you are going to measure it in square meters because you will be using the 1 meter ruler. So you will be measuring the area length by width, and it's going to be square meter. And these square meters, you would change it into centimeters. So you convert it to centimeters that you will be able to plot whatever has to be done on a piece of paper or on the A4 paper. So example, if I have the area is 10 by 6 square meters, okay? If the area measures 10 by 6 square meter, the length is 10 and the width is 6. Now, for me to convert that 10 by 6, 10 to centimeters, How many centimeters is that going to be? How many centimeters is that going to be? Yes, Paul?
60 centimeters.
Okay, this is 10. You are converting meters. Think of centimeters to meter. I've already given you the answer. Centimeters to meter. How many centimeters are there in 1 meter? Adrian?
meter.
How many centimeters are there in 1 meter? We are going back to maths now. Yes, Harold?
100 centimeters.
100 centimeters. Now you should know that in your maths, 100 centimeters is equals to 1 meter. Now you are measuring that area using square meter. So you have to convert that meter to centimeters because you will be using centimeters on your scale drawing. So the example we are trying to do here is 10 by 6 square meters. So the length is 10 and the width is 6. Length is 10 square meters and the width is 6 square meters. So when we convert that 10 square meters to centimeters, how many centimeters is that going to be? How many centimeters is that going to be? Yes, Brendan?
600.
600. We'll try. Hayano?
6,000 centimeters.
Pardon?
6,000 centimeters.
6,000. Good try. Yes, Paul D. Okay, I'll make that the last and I will have to give you the answer.
50,000 centimeters.
50,000. Now, what do you do to get the answer? Okay, Tulanga wants to try.
60,000.
60,000. Now, it's 1,000 centimeters. How did we get that answer? We are multiplying that 100 centimeters by 10 meters to get that answer. Okay? Now, the 6 square meters will be how many centimeters? When we convert the 6 square meters, how many centimeters are we going to get from that? Yes, Hayano?
600.
600. Good. Now, can we fit this 1,000 centimeters on this paper? No, we can't. Okay? We can't fit that 1,000 centimeters on this paper and even the 600 centimeters over here. And that is why, like it said in the definition, in scale drawing, we are going to be using the ratio of 1:50, which is 1 centimeter equals to 50 centimeters. So we are actually decreasing the normal size, making it smaller so it can fit onto this paper, and you will be using A4 paper for your assignment. Now, if I can have the third criteria is not clear, so I'd like you to listen as I read. It says positions of the shrubs and flowers. Now, on the scale, you have to show the positions of the flowers and the shrubs that have to be planted on that or in that waterlogged area. If we can have Regina read for us criteria number 4.
Positive of the types.
Okay, positions of the tires. Do not forget you have collected some tires and put them together. We will be using those tires. And so on your scale drawing, you will have to show the position of the tires, where you are going to be placing those tires. And that's 2 marks. If I can have, okay, let's have Shane as his hands are up for number 5. Criteria 5.
Plant spacing and number of trees.
Plant spacing and number of trees. You have to show how many centimeters between each plant that you are positioning on the scale drawing, and also the number of trees. Now in here, we are actually planting shrubs, not trees. So you have to have the number of trees, count them, and how many they are, indicate that also on the scale drawing. Now, the last one is the key. You have to have a key to show what is on your scale. Okay, you have to have a key to show what is on your scale drawing. What symbol represents tires? Which symbol represents the shrubs? Okay, and all that. Now all this adds up to 15 marks. Besides whatever is there, you will be also assessed on the neatness of your work and how soon you give in your assignment, if you give it in on the time that is required to give in. Now, this is to the receiving schools. You may have your own marks. With mine, I have 15 marks, but you can give more than that. That's on your own assessment. Okay, now let's have a look at our next lesson activity, which is this. A big word. What is revegetation? What is revegetation? That is going to be our next lesson. Now, you have no homework because you have been given assignment. That is why there is no homework for you. And before we finish, let's have a look quickly at what we have just covered so far on sketch mapping and scale drawing. Okay, if I can have Angeline to tell us briefly what a sketch mapping is. What is sketch mapping? What is sketch mapping?
A rough map, like drawing of something done quickly without concern for detail.
Okay, good, thank you. Let's have Anna for scale drawing. Scale drawing. Anna for the scale drawing.
A drawing that has been reduced or enlarged to a common scale.
Very good, thank you. Brendan, I'd like you to give me one of the criteria for your assessment task. I'd like you to give me one of the criteria for your assessment task. Brendan?
What will it look like?
Okay, good. Another one from you, Gima, please. Another criteria to look at when you are doing your assessment task.
Correct length and width of the area.
Very good. Correct length and width of the area. And the width of the area has to be, Patricia, the width of the area has to be measured in what? What sort of unit of measurement are you going to use?
Square meter.
Square meter. And the square meter, William, what do you convert it into? What do you convert it into? What do you convert the square meter to?
Centimeter.
Centimeters. Now to get your answer of how many centimeters in a meter, what do you do? What do you do? Anybody, I'd like you to give me the answer. To convert your square meter or meter to centimeter, what do you do to get your answer? What do you do to get your answer? Tulanga?
Multiply length by width.
You are simply just converting the meter to centimeter. What do you do? Yes, Francis?
Times square meter by 100.
Okay. Now you are actually measuring, multiplying 100 centimeters by the square meter that you come up with to get the centimeter that you need to get. Now we have done the example there. Okay. 10 by 6. 10 is equals to 1,000 centimeters. 6 equals to 600 centimeters. I hope class you have that done, so when you come to the correct measurement, you get it done correctly. Our key phrase for this lesson. Okay, Raymond?
Sketch mapping and scale drawing.
Good, it's sketch mapping and scale drawing. Now, our next lesson is on Doweri. If you can tell us what our next lesson is on. We've already looked at it.
What is vegetation?
Very good. What revegetation is, and I'd like you have assignment to do, but if you can have some time to look up on what revegetation is. And with that, good morning class, the receiving school students and teachers.
Mrs. Patangas, and thank you for your lesson.
Receiving teachers, here's your reference for the next lesson: strand, substrand, outcome, topic, materials, and reference.